few aspects to the context of this situation that I'm getting wrong, but by reading the description, I believe BUAKAW was paid or invited to this gym in China to spar one of their up-and-coming 17-year-old kickboxing fighters, and it's quite a hard spar, like a simulated competition experience. I'm professional MMA fighter 13-3, George Hardwick, and let's break this down. So we see BUAKAW use his long guard there. One of the keys with BUAKAW's long guard is that he doesn't just bring up the hand, but it's his shoulder and the tricep covering against the overhand right, and he often brings his right hand in front of his face as a parry. When this works best is when he's moving on the back foot with it, so he can use his left leg straight out. His left arm is there ready to swing into the left kicks, the switch kicks, the teeps. When it doesn't work as well as if he pushes forward a lot with it, like how he did in the rematch with Masato. In the first match, he used it to keep long and you throw body kicks. He tried to be aggressive and use it to set up low kicks in the rematch, and it didn't work as well because it allows someone to slip the head either side or rip those uppercuts underneath it. When it's long range, it's too long to slip those uppercuts. He's using those teeps again. Right kick up high. See how that knee comes well across the block as he throws that right kick. As he throws that right kick, the knee comes well across the block, so it's harder for the guy to counter straight off. Little feint, boom, teep, right kick. That knee comes past the block. He's not kicking with a completely straight leg the full time because he's a little bit more square if he does that. Uses the bounce of the rope to spring into a left knee. That's a really veteran savvy move. BUAKAW has his palms turned out a little bit more forward, which means he's less ready to punch, but it also means he's much more ready to parry. He's much more ready to go into long guards, and he's much more ready to catch. A lot of Thais have their elbows out because they're really ready to, get into parrying and teeps, rather than keeping the elbows tight. It's easier to catch kicks as well with the elbows slightly out. It's a really good combination from BUAKAW just a few seconds ago, where he rips, boom, catches a teep, uppercut cross, left hook. Every shot sets up the next shot. The uppercut lifts the head into the cross, and the cross brings the hands narrow for the hook to come around. Really basic combination, but it looks really cool when it comes off. There's a fake jab into teep, a fake teep into jab rather, into right kick. Everything's leading off the last thing. So that fake teep into jab, it brings the hands low because they think the teep's coming. And then when he steps down again off that fake teep, he can really leverage into a hard right kick. Really good stuff. BUAKAW moving around, a lot more mobile at this point in his career compared to his fights currently. Goes body and head there and then teeps through the middle. Mixing that in between those round right kicks and the teeps. Simple double attack, but it's a classic. There's a switch, and he just had a little switch and a delay there. He didn't go straight off. Sometimes these really high-level operators, they might switch, they might commit to a movement, and then they can pause just to see what the reaction is. Sometimes those stand switches, if you stand switch on purpose, you can use it to see what their reaction is, and it was too close for the knee, so he just angled off into the left kick. That right teep, again, the more you right kick, the easier it's going to be to right teep and left teep there. There's that fake and a jab, and sometimes he doesn't bring that jab all the way back. Sometimes he just leaves it out. See if we can freeze a moment. Boom. Sometimes he just leaves it out, and that's a really good shout, is to use this uppercut. But because BUAKAW's stepping back off of this uppercut, stepping back off of this long guard even, the uppercut has to be done with a nearly straight arm, so it's not going to have that same snap under it. It's not going to be like how Masato landed it in the rematch. But generally that long guard working better on the back foot, and it leads into those switch kicks nice and quick. See how the switch, it gets called a switch kick, but the mistake people make on it, they'll make a full switch of stance, almost jump through the air. It's too slow, and then the legs are too spread. It's more of like a tiny little skip, and then it's nice and quick. If you watch any high-level operators with their switch kick, particularly BUAKAW in his prime, it's not a big switch. It's a little skip. And there's that Thai side kick. That Thai side kick, slightly on the angle, can be slightly harder to catch, and you can bring it up in one motion. Normally, the Thai teep is up and in. That's how you teach it. Bring the knee up. A lot of people practice with the chair so that they can actually, have to bring the knee up. Master Toddy, there's a video where he's talking about practicing with the chair, so they have to bring the knee up past a certain point. With the Thai side kick, it just comes in one motion. Kind of like a long knee, kind of like a Sichuan knee. Left hook on the break. Boom. There again. Right hand across the face. Left hand reaching out, using the shoulder and the tricep to block against the right hand, using the right hand to block against the jabs. Boom. A lot of these switch stances put a lot of pressure. They get people out of position. If you switch in front of them, suddenly you expect that switch kick, especially when it's been lancing into you time and time again, that it'll put you off balance. It'll put you off balance because you flinch. And BUAKAW knows this. He'll do that switch have a watch, see what you're doing, and then decide whether he's going to blast a kick or sweep or hit the knee. Depends on range and reaction, and probably another word that begins with R. Given the full corner experience, I think they're trying to simulate the fight experience for this young 17-year-old as much as possible. Touching gloves again. BUAKAW giving him a good licking because, well, you don't want to give him that ego over you when it's that first time sparring with someone. And as well, you don't know if you're going to be set up for something. There's using that left knee fake into a right knee. So that left teep fake into the right knee, really effective because he's been using it into the right kick or the jab so much. And it's just, again, a decision based on range. If he's long away, he's going to put that foot down and kick. Kind of like there, but it was off of a left hook. If he's really close and the guy's shelled up, he's going to knee to the body. Boom, left knee to the body, left hook to the body, and then into right knee. The left hook to the body is going to move him into the path of that right knee. If you hit someone with a really good left hand, chances are they're going to be knocked to their own left. And the body hook again. One of the highest percentage knockdown shots through BUAKAW's career. He's known for the kicks, but is that left hook to the body. And he'll do it off of right kicks a lot of time. He'll throw a right kick, stand them still, and then shift into a left hook body. Let's go back, see how he did it this time. Blocks a 1-2 there. That's a classic BUAKAW setup for the left hook body. He actually used this in his boxing fight a lot recently. His one pro boxing fight. He'll use his right hand as a right hook, but he's not aiming for the head. He's aiming for the glove because he's going to drag, boom, that glove off to the side, and that's going to turn his solar plexus, the pit of the stomach that Ricky Hatton would talk about, into the left hook to the body, and it's going to leverage extra power in. Boom, boom. Put it back one more time so we can see that right hook, like a clubbing, pulling right hook into the left hook to the body. So that right hook isn't its own distinct shot. He's not trying to knock him out with that right hook to the head. He's trying to catch his glove. He's trying to turn him into the shot and set himself up to hit harder on the left hook body. So he sometimes, especially in those big boxing gloves, you can manipulate the guard, manipulate their shape into the shots with the punches, rather than each shot being some kind of big concussive blow. Again, another knockdown, and they've waved off this simulated competition. A bit of a strange one, but I just typed in BUAKAW sparring, and despite having watched BUAKAW for decades now, since my first coach Kin gave me DVDs of his training footage, I've not seen this before. And it's a good list of like BUAKAW classics. The long guard, the right hook to the body, the left hook to the body even. I'm being a bit like Dan Hardy here, saying the wrong side each time. But that setup of the body hook, using the right hand, not as a right hook, but just to steer their body, steer the pit of the stomach into the liver shot, and also that teep fake. Generally as well, if you want to take one thing away from this video, that long guard works a bit better on the back foot than the front foot. I've been George Hardwick. If you like the stuff, let me know who you want me to break down, if I can find some sparring footage or pad work footage. And yeah, subscribe and all the generic call to action algorithmic bollocks. Have a nice day. Have a nice bank holiday.